Today we're diving into the latest evolution of Ethan Hunt's look in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which is a brand new movie. So Tom Cruise returns with a hairstyle that reflects the culmination of his character's journey, refined, resilient, and ready for the ultimate mission. Let's break down the haircut. So you can see I am layering the top. The entire top and the whole haircut is done with scissors. So I would say the top is probably about 3 inches long, no more than 4 inches long, maintaining a clean yet natural shape that allows for the movement without it appearing overly styled. Because he's doing 8 million stunts a second, his hair is kind of always all over the place, but you need to have the right length. And that's what is a benefit to having your hair a little bit longer like this, is the fact that it's not super long or it's not super short. You can actually do a lot with this, where it can look really nice and well groomed and slicked back, or it could be a lot more of a messier, undone type of style. The back, it's basically all pulled out straight from the head. I do leave it a little bit longer towards the bottom because that is what allows the hair to have that movement and have those flips. Now, I know a lot of you may want to see those flips in the hair, and that is done by basically cutting it in a way where it allows, like I'm doing here, it allows the hair to have a natural flow. And you can see how I'm angling my fingers. Now, if you are a professional hairstylist or a barber looking to do this, this is going to be crucial for you to see what I'm doing here with the angling of my fingers, right? Going shorter to longer. And now I'm cutting palm to palm. And traditionally, a lot of people will just throw their arm over and hunch their back over in a way that it's so uncomfortable that I'm just literally switching my hand positioning, and now I'm cutting palm to palm, which means I can literally clap my hands. And this allows you to get closer to the bottom. It allows you to have a little more control over the haircut. So this is really, really crucial. So if you're looking to get those flips in the hair, if you're looking to have a lot more of that movement, then now you see I switch back over. So this is really ideal when it comes to these types of haircuts, is body position. Now, if you're a client going to get this at a salon, I would highly suggest going to a salon for this. If you do find a barber, traditionally, just keep in mind they're used to working with clippers. If they can do a clipper haircut like this, then phenomenal. If they do know how to cut hair really well, which is scissors, then phenomenal. If you have a professional that can do all this, doesn't matter, a barber or stylist, then good. It really comes down to just finding someone who actually knows how to cut hair with scissors and how to create shapes. But if you are somebody who is going to get this haircut done, the key really, honestly, with every haircut that I do, and I say it's show a photo, right? If you like Tom Cruise's hair in any of the Mission Impossibles, or any celebrity or actor, or whatever it is for that matter, just go on Google, take a photo, save it to your phone, screenshot it, whatever you have to do, and then it's up to that hair professional to be able to execute this. Now, this is a bonus tip. You see what I'm doing. I'm actually holding the hair horizontally. When you hold hair horizontally like this, what this does, it not only helps you be even-steven with your layers, it actually helps remove excess weight. So this technique is really amazing if you are somebody who wants to remove a lot of that heaviness in the back and you want to have hair that does flip up and have a bit more movement and texture. Just make sure you cross-check this and cut it horizontally like what I'm doing, and that's going to really just put the icing on the cake. The entire back I did cut vertically, but now this is a technique that I do. I go back in and then cut it horizontally, which is straight across. Vertically is up and down. And I do this because it allows me to, one, see any hair that I may have missed or it's unbalanced. But again, you can see all that movement and look at all that texture in the hair. It loosens up the hair so much. All that heaviness in the back, it just really, really helps get rid of it. And then I continue this throughout the sides. When I get to the sides, it's that horizontal movement. So now what I'm doing is I'm connecting the back into the top, and it's ideal that you do it this way. And I like to go basically following the head shape, right? Following the head shape, in my opinion, gives it the most natural type of look. I don't focus so much on, is it a square cut? Is it rounded? Is it, I tend to just pull everything straight out from the head. Now, depending on the look, depending on what the needs are for the haircut, yes, then you can go in and apply a specific shape, aka, oh, let's do a square shape, or let's do a rounded shape, or a triangular shape. And if you are interested in learning what haircut shapes actually are, I have downloadable PDF ebooks that are only $10 each. That's right. It costs less than your haircut. To understand the most crucial part of haircutting is haircut shapes, which is to me more important almost than face shapes. So you can get them. You can see right here in the view products, I have downloadable ebooks. After you purchase it, just wait like 30 seconds for it to render and download, and then you can download it, right? You can just click a button, and it also gets emailed to you. And they're on my website, shop.TheSalonGuy.com. A really good investment if you're looking to learn about haircut shapes so you can get better haircuts. So now what I'm doing is I'm following, like I said, the head shape. This is where the roundness of the head is. Now, people sometimes can cut this square if they want it to lay a bit more flat, but I wanted to just have it a bit more just natural, pulling it straight out from the head. And to me, that's going to give me more flexibility, and also it allows the hair, especially when Tom Cruise, when he's doing a lot of these stunts, the hair needs to move in a way that it falls back into place or it looks good messed up. When you start doing extreme haircut shapes and focus so much on having it look good for that 1 second or the one way you comb it, you're going to end up getting into some trouble because it's not going to look good all the time. This method, this technique that I'm doing, the way I cut hair, is I want hair to look good all the time. So that means that in action shots and when he's on the run and doing whatever scene, the hair can get all messed up and it will still look good, right? And that's just how I would do it. And all the people who are on set, hair, makeup people, I mean, they do a phenomenal job, obviously. But man, I'll tell you, I would love to have the opportunity to cut, Tom Cruise or meet Tom Cruise. I mean, that would be unreal, right? And who knows? Let's put it out there into the universe. So what's happening now is you can see I'm cutting horizontally, and this is going to allow, this is really more blending. It's going to allow for that shape to really have a lot of freedom and movement, right? I'm removing that heaviness, and you can see I just run my hands through and it's doing what I want to do instantly. There's the hair flips. There is a lot of texture. Now I'm just simply going on the other side. And you notice I'm not throwing my arm over the top. A lot of hair professionals, they take that arm and they go way over, they're hunched over, they're doing putting their body in this weird position that's just so uncomfortable. I did that for many years. And after having ridiculous back pains, I go, well, let me just turn the client's head and keep my body in the same position. You can see now I'm just cutting upwards. And I'm able to control the haircut with my arm positioning and my body positioning. Now, I am pushing that top area out of the way because I really want to isolate the sides and the bottom. And that's what I'm doing now, is I'm cutting everything, like I mentioned, vertically first, up and down, and then I go in and I cut it horizontally, which is going to happen right here. So I'm pulling the hair out, and I'm cutting it straight out from the head horizontally because, like I mentioned, that's going to give maximum movement. It's going to allow for those hair flips. It's going to allow for that manageability. So this is really awesome if you're somebody who has, let's just say, wavy hair, and you want this type of haircut. This type of technique is really going to enhance the waves. It's going to enhance the curl. Even if you have straight hair like this mannequin, this technique is allowing the hair to have a lot of the ability to have it move around and have a lot of shape. So this is a great way in order to remove a lot of that added weight on the hair so your hair can move around. You can scrunch it with the blow dryer. You can do a lot more with it. When the hair is really heavy, meaning it's not layered, it doesn't lay right, then you're not going to have the right movement, and it's not cut the right way. One of the biggest questions that I get, and the most popular topic is, oh, I got my hair cut and it's not laying right, or I can't style my hair like this, or why isn't it? I'm telling you right now, It really comes down to skill. Yes, there may be 30 barbers in your area, 50 hairstylists in your area. There really can only be one who's really good at cutting hair. I mean, think about restaurants, think about pizzerias. How often do you go to a pizzeria that literally is mediocre, if that? And they portray themselves as, oh, I'm the best pizzeria, my pizza's so good. People still buy it for some reason. But then when you have real pizza that is like thin crust, it's a little more cooked, while you have that crunch, there's like, oh my gosh, I've been missing out. It's the same thing with a haircut. You have to find someone who is really good, and that is actually more rare than finding anyone who can just do a haircut in 15 minutes and it's mediocre. Now, again, if you're paying a premium price, aka with me, hundreds of dollars for a haircut, it's a different experience. When you go in and you're paying $15, $20 for a haircut, if you get a good haircut, then great. But if you get a botch job, then you got to question the skill level. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking a razor and I'm going in to just alleviate, once again, some of that weight so the hair can have more movement, it can have more texture, it can flip up where it needs to, it can just be a little more airy and loose. And this comes down to what is being put into the haircut. You can clearly see that, and a lot of people who watch my videos, they go, oh, the person who cuts my hair, you're still cutting the whole thing and they're done, 15 minutes before. And I'm just like, well, that goes to show you. Like, it comes down to finding someone who knows how to cut it. So I use Tidal Wave to give me a little bit of added texture and volume. Now I'm using my Ionic blow dryer, which all of my stuff you can get at shop.thesalonguy.com. The blow dryer is really only available to be used in the United States and Canada because of the voltage differences. So do not buy this from the US here and have it shipped to like Germany. It's just not going to work out well. So I'm blow drying, and you can see that I'm really able to work my hands through. And with Tom Cruise and all of his haircuts, right? Every movie he's been in, like if you notice, he has great hair, but a lot of his haircuts, they just have a very loose, airy, light feel, light texture, and that's all because of this. It's all because of the haircut. Now, the way I'm drying this also, you could see I'm actually like really going in and I'm not trying to be perfect, right? I'm really trying to just, I would say, let the haircut do a lot of the work. So I want to try to mess it up. When you're styling your hair at home, if you have a good haircut, something like this, where it needs that movement, try when you blow dry to mess the hair up in a somewhat structured way. I'm blow drying the hair all over. I'm controlling it lightly with my hands, but I'm not trying to get a perfect result. And you could see even from me blow drying like this, the hair is laying nicely. Like, I'm trying to mess the hair up and it's still laying perfectly. So, once again, it comes down to the execution of the haircut, having a good balance, having a good shape. But when you are trying to dishevel something and cut it and style it in a way that you have that support system from the haircut itself, man, I'm telling you, it's like a whole new experience. So there you can see, I'm trying to now flatten the top because Tom Cruise, and especially in this movie and a lot of the movies he does, you'll notice the top is fairly flat. Unless he's wearing a style where there's a lot of volume in the front or it's shorter, the top is just like that. I mean, that literally is Tom Cruise right there. So it's really about getting the right shape. And what I'm doing with my hands, as you can see, is I'm just working the shape in. Now, another thing when it comes to blow drying, right, is you have to make sure that you are putting in the effort when it comes to blow drying. Put in the effort, okay? What I'm doing now is I'm taking the feather razor, which is a professional hair tool, and it's designed to remove a lot of the bulk, a lot of the weight. I just saw one little piece that I said, I think I need to cut this a little shorter, so I cut it a little bit shorter. Now I'm just going to go back in and blow dry it, and you can see the hair is falling right into place. Now, keep in mind, once again, mannequin heads sometimes have twice the amount of hair as a human. This is human hair. However, this is a high-quality mannequin, so it's human hair. But the way it's stitched into the head sometimes could be a little bit difficult, right? Now I'm taking my thinning shears. Once again, you can see how thick the hair is. They just, a lot of times making these mannequin heads, they just, really stitch in a ton of hair. And you'll see the amount of hair. Look in the shears. Look at all that hair that's being removed. So if you're someone who has extremely thick hair and you want this haircut, look at that. Don't be afraid, and make sure you tell the hair professional, hey, my hair is really thick. Can you go over it with the thinning shears? This has to be done on dry hair. Trust me, in order to feel the maximum bulk in the hair, for the scissors to work through the hair easily, this has to be done on dry hair. Now I'm using my new structure styler, just a little scoop, okay? Because I want this to have a little more control. I'm working it through the hands lightly to where I don't see the product, but there's still a little bit of that product in there. That's what's going to give me a little more of a textured look. The more you work it into your hands, that's where it's going to give you that extreme, more like kind of dry finish styling product. This, I wanted it to have a little more texture so it doesn't look like it's just super matte, something very natural. And you can see I'm working in. I'm trying to lift those sides up. I want to get that pieciness. And then it's a work in progress. So now I'm going in and I'm using a raking motion, which you can see helps get those pieces to kind of stick out a bit more, right? So that looks good there. And now I'm going to just work down that top a little. And I really want to get that other side to have those flips too. And because of that horizontal cutting technique that I did, this is what allows it to be able to have that movement and that shape. And you use your fingers, rake the hair, mess it up. You have to experiment, right? To get your hair to look good, you have to experiment. And I think that looks awesome. I'm probably going to end up, I think I kind of matte down the top just a little bit more, or the sides a little bit more, because I want it just to be a little more controlled. And yes, there we go. There it is. I'm pushing it down. That literally is Tom Cruise. So I hope you enjoy these videos. I am going back to doing a lot of these celebrity haircut recreations, and let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this. I can't wait to see this movie. Don't forget, you can use code YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get this engagement up. I want to read a lot of these comments. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.